Hi YouTubers, welcome to Diecast Culture. Thank you for joining me on this amazingly sunny Friday afternoon in the UK. And I'm going to be sharing with you 6 Majorette which I found at Sainsbury's supermarket in Ashford, Kent, UK. And those of you who know me will know that I collected Majorette as a kid, and this brings back many happy memories. So just going to pop these up here. We've got 2 really nice Porsche 911s. We've got a 60th anniversary Volvo estate and a McLaren Center. We're also going to take a look at a couple of really nice deluxe cars, as they're called. We have a Bugatti Chiron here and a Land Rover Defender. So these cars come with their own collector's tins, each individually printed according to the car maker on the front. First and foremost, we're going to take a look at the 4 that we have here. I think we'll start with this Volvo 240 GL. I used to be driven to school in one of these in the mid-1980s. And they were cool. They had a decent engine, they felt really safe and solid, and plenty of space in comparison to other cars that were on British roads at the time. Just before I rip open the packaging, we'll take a look. It's Majorette 60th anniversary Volvo 240 GL Estate Anniversary Edition. And it says Majorette have been going since 1964. So it reads 1/59 scale, made in Thailand, Volvo 240 GL, Dickey Toys, Germany. And with Majorette, you pretty much as standard get opening features. You also get a nicely detailed interior compared to Hot Wheels. So there is a proper steering wheel there, compared to Hot Wheels' excuse for a steering wheel. Listen up, Hot Wheels. The boot lid does not open. Do like the wheels, although I think I'm not that keen on the blue, so I might change that either to silver or black. It's really nice. And later on in this video I'm going to put them next to a really old Majorette Volvo estate and a couple of other Volvo estates by Hot Wheels, just so that we can compare them. It's the McLaren Center. I thought this is a little bit different with the white doors, so I don't know whether this is Majorette's own design or whether there is a McLaren Center with white doors. And I've got a feeling those doors open. Looks pretty nice. I've already got a Hot Wheels version of the Senna and also a Mini GT super detailed version, so again it'll be nice to compare those together. And with these Majorette you get a information card. Nice piece of artwork. V8, engine size 3994cc, 800 horsepower. That's not enough really, is it? Speed 335 kilometers per hour. 0 to 100 or 0 to 60 in 2.8 seconds. That's pretty slow, isn't it? Curb weight 1309 kg, torque 800 Nm. First glance at this and I like it. The doors being white do look unusual. The windscreen kind of looks a little bit small, like it's like the A-pillars look quite thick. But it's an interesting paint scheme. And I got a feeling these are scissor doors. Look at that. How cool is that? And they're really quite nice fitting. Now, if this was Matchbox moving parts, there would be a good chance that these doors would be made of plastic, which, in my opinion, just ruins it when the rest of the car is made of die-cast metal. That is awesome. Crazy. Scale 158, or is it 156? And with most Majorette, you get working suspension, which is a nice added touch. A few years ago, the suspension travel would have been quite a lot, and when you have a low slung hypercar like this, the car would have sat too high, and I think Majorette have listened. Now it sits better. Let's stick that over there. Right, next up we're going to take a look at these two Porsche, and I think they look gorgeous. So we've got one that would pass for a Gulf livery on the left, and then on the right we've got this super cool shiny piano black 911 with orange interior, and it just looks straight from the 70s, late 70s I guess. Okay, I do like this. If you were to put it alongside a Hot Wheels Porsche, it is fractionally larger. I got a feeling that the rear engine cover lifts up on this one. 911 Carrera RS 2.7. 6 cylinders, 2.6 litre, 2687 centimetre cube cc, 210 horsepower, 240 kilometers per hour, 6.3 seconds, 1075 kg, 255 Nm. So the brake horsepower is, yeah, I mean it's quite a lot by today's standards for this type of class. It's not. 6.3 seconds back in the day would have been quite favourable. Look at this beauty. Or as Lamley from the Lamley group channel would say, would you look at that? Or just look at that. There you go. Now all these Majorette that you've seen at the supermarket were reduced to £2.55, and to be honest with you, for the money, that's just really nice quality. Hot Wheels are now retailing at similar price in the UK. So if you're to compare a Majorette with Hot Wheels, you are getting a little bit more detail. You're certainly getting some opening features, working suspension, detailed interior, and what a lovely looking example. Wow. Okay, let's take a look at this black beauty. Look at this, I do like this. Absolutely gorgeous. Okay, so these figures are going to be the same as the previous Porsche. It's the same car, just different colour. I have to say, I am bowled over by this. I mean, look at that product for £2.25. I mean, how can you better that? Absolutely gorgeous black paintwork, really nice finish, and just look at that 1970s deco. I think the colours which were popular in the 70s are oranges and browns. A little bit of engine detail, nice bit of Porsche written on the back. 2.7. Is that the engine size, I think? That gets an awesome from me. Okay, so there's two more cars to go. These are the Deluxe cars. And I think we'll take a look at the Bugatti Chiron first. Deluxe cars. Metal body, rubber tyres, suspension, opening parts, licensed vehicle. Now, when I was at the supermarket, I wasn't entirely honest. I was scanning the other Majorettes that I bought, which were reduced to £2.25. Then I scanned this one, and the scanner wouldn't recognise it. I waited for an assistant to come along, and she took a look at it. Again, couldn't get it to scan properly, so what she did was to scan the others at £2.25 to put this through. So what it means is that I got this Deluxe car for £2.25, and that is a bargain. If you've been a local small business, I would have certainly pointed it out, but when you've got a big corporation like that, well, you know, that's the way it goes. Anyway, let's take a look at this. My son informs me that the colour scheme on this is very close to the colour scheme which Andrew Tate has on his Bugatti. You've got a collector's tin there, Bugatti Chiron Pure Sport. Let's get this open. Let's take a look at the tin first. I think this is all part of Majorette's 60th anniversary. They want to make the best impression they can. And do you know what a really nice idea? These the lid just slides off like that, and you can pop your Bugatti in the tin and pop it on your shelf to display it. Majorette. So whichever car you get, obviously it will show that car on the top. Okay, let's take a look. Multiple opening features. Okay, so the doors don't fit as well as they could. Neither does the bonnet. That's disappointing. because otherwise it's an unusual colour, and despite that unusual colour, I think the general overall impression is really quite interesting. Scale 165. I really would like to know who decides these scales. Not just at Majorette, but Hot Wheels and Matchbox and all the other diecast makers. Who decides? Okay, so 164 is like the main scale for this size of toy, and you're going to get variants above and below that figure. So why did they come up with 165? Working suspension. Oh, there's very little amount of travel on the back, more on the front. Interesting interior. Hopefully you can pick that up. For me, the ill-fitting doors and bonnet spoil it for me. Quite a lot. Otherwise, I would say really nice. Wheels look great. Okay, last but not least, another Deluxe series, Deluxe cars. I didn't realise I've already got, well, it's either 3 or 4 Majorette Land Rovers. You can tell I've got too many cars. For some reason I thought this was the first Majorette Land Rover that I'd managed to come across. You may know that I have a real Land Rover. It's a 2008 ex-Western Power Utility Company Land Rover. Really heavy duty machine, which I've converted to comfortable family everyday transport. Done all the work myself, sound insulating, carpeting, making it comfortable, putting a second row of seats in it. Anyway, back to this. Let's get it open. That's a really nice image. So, knowing Land Rovers well, like I do, Majorette have got the proportions of this not quite right. I haven't studied it in detail, but to me, the windows look too big. And the other thing is that it's difficult to tell. It's a fraction on the wide side, possibly. Scale 1 to 60. Again, more suspension travel on the front and hardly any on the back. Is that a misplaced axle? Wobbles around a bit. Difficult to say. So this isn't a traditional Land Rover colour. There's plenty of green Land Rovers, but not this metallic green. Doesn't matter, it's quite nice. You've got a giant steering wheel in there, which is quite true to the real life example. I like it. Lens headlights, nicely tempoed. Defender across the front. So you can see that this is a post 2008 Defender. How do I know? Because the bonnet has a small bulge in it. It's slightly raised in the centre. Why is it raised? It's raised because on 2008 onwards, Land Rover decided to replace the existing, was it TD5 engine, with a Duratec Ford Transit engine, which was larger, so they had to raise the bonnet. This would have come with 6 gears. My Land Rover is a 2008 example, and the 6 gears are great because you can cruise at 70 miles per hour and the revs are about 1.8, nice and low. Really nice. Nice example. I think the white tow bar retainer, I will probably get a craft knife and slice that off. That doesn't do the model any justice, but I'll leave the tow hitch in place. The white rimmed wheels, okay, I think I'm gonna either make those silver or black them out. Otherwise I quite like the stripes. They're kind of like straight from the early 80s, is it, when the first Defenders came out. Obviously they changed the name because originally these were Series 3 Land Rovers, before that 2, before that obviously 1, dating all the way back to 1957. And this is known as a wagon. So you would have had 4 seats right at the back, sideways facing. So you could sit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 people. Also what's nice, Majorette have got a real window there in the roof. It's a little bit small, but I haven't come across any other die-cast makers that include that window. That's a nice touch. Oh, let's take a look at the hood, the bonnet. Plastic insert for the engine. Okay guys, that's it. Thanks ever so much for watching. I've enjoyed doing this. As you can see, I'm quite passionate about these. It's really nice to see real cars shown as models.